Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into a real game changer today. Look, if you use AI tools regularly, you know that just trying to optimize your workflow can kind of feel like a part-time job in itself. Well, today we're breaking down a highly practical and honestly incredibly insightful guide from the Triana AI Hub. It is all about one simple, foundational step you can take to instantly upgrade your ChatGPT workflow. We are going to look at how you can set your custom instructions exactly once, so you can literally stop repeating yourself. Trust me on this, once you grasp the mechanics behind this setup, it's going to fundamentally change how you interact with AI. Let's get right into it.
So, let's be totally honest for a second. How many times have you typed, "Be concise," or "I'm a developer," or "Use British English" into a brand new chat? You sit down, you're ready to crush some work, but before you can even ask your actual question, you have to spend 2 paragraphs just explaining who you are and how you want the AI to talk back to you. It's a ridiculously frustrating reality that we can just call prompt amnesia. Every single time you open a new window, the AI completely forgets everything about your style, your expertise, your goals, the whole shebang. You constantly have to remind it of your preferences, or you run the massive risk of getting a completely generic, unhelpful answer. It is just a massive drain on your time and energy.
All right, Section 1. What are custom instructions? Building a global baseline.
To put it simply, custom instructions are about to become your new best friend. They essentially consist of 2 standing fields that act as a permanent foundation. Think of it like a standing frame right underneath every single chat you ever initiate. According to the Triana guide, once you set these up, ChatGPT applies them automatically to all your new conversations. You don't have to toggle anything on, you don't have to turn anything off for your daily tasks. This feature permanently shifts the default behavior of the AI toward the answers you actually want to see. You're basically giving the AI a persistent memory of your baseline preferences so you can completely bypass that generic, out-of-the-box personality it usually starts with.
Set once applies everywhere. I really want to emphasize the compounding value of this tool. Just think about it. If you use ChatGPT 5, 10, maybe 20 times a day, shaving off just 30 seconds of setup time per chat, that adds up incredibly fast. But it is not just about saving the physical time typing, it is about reducing your cognitive load. The higher the volume of chats you do, the more this single, simple setup pays dividends. You are establishing a durable, cross-topic preference that just works seamlessly in the background, whether you're drafting an email, analyzing a massive data set, or just brainstorming ideas.
Moving right along, Section 2. The 2 magic boxes. How to structure your standing frame. When you actually go and open your custom instructions, you're faced with just 2 fields to establish this baseline identity. Step 1 is the Who You Are box. This is where you declare your profession, your level of expertise, or just your general perspective on things. Step 2 is the How You Want Answers box. This one is all about formatting, tone, length, and style. By separating these 2 concepts, you're giving the AI a complete 360-degree view of not just who it's dealing with, but exactly how it needs to package and deliver the information back to you. Let's actually ground this with a fantastic example directly from the Triana source material. Imagine a designer setting this specific instruction in their How to Answer box. Explain technical topics without assuming I code. Now that is powerful. From that moment on, all the answers the designer requests about complex stuff, APIs, server infrastructure, databases, they all come back in plain, accessible language by default. There's no per-chat reminder needed whatsoever. The AI already knows the user's technical boundary, and it adjusts its vocabulary automatically. It is personalization at its absolute finest, and it saves you from endless follow-up prompts where you have to beg the AI to dumb it down.
Section 3. Global defaults versus scoped overrides. Mastering the advanced AI workflow. Now, it's absolutely crucial to understand the difference between the tools you have at your disposal. On one hand, you have your global defaults. These are your custom instructions. They act as your durable cross-topic preferences. This is your core identity. But on the other hand, you have scoped overrides, which include things like projects and custom GPTs. Triana makes a really great point here. Heavy project-specific context belongs over in a project, not in your custom instructions. And what if you have a one-off, totally unique need? Well, that belongs right in the individual chat prompt. Knowing exactly where to place your instructions is the absolute key to keeping your workflow clean.
You have to layer these cleanly to avoid giving contradictory guidance. Basically, you want to keep your global how to respond field relatively tight. Think about it. If your custom instructions are just crammed with highly specific rules for one particular client, and then you open a specialized custom GPT designed for a completely different task, well, those global defaults are going to fight against your scoped overrides. The AI gets confused, it doesn't know what to prioritize, and your output suffers. So, keep your global baseline broad enough to apply to everything, and rely on projects or GPTs when you need to get hyper-specific.
Section 4. Common mistakes to avoid. 3 ways to ruin your setup.
Let's rapidly fire through 3 major pitfalls straight from the source. Number 1. Leaving the fields entirely blank. Obviously, if you do this, you are resigning yourself to retyping your preferences in every single chat forever. No thanks. Number 2. Overloading the instructions with one specific project's details. If you do this, your super complex Python coding rules are suddenly going to bleed into a casual conversation where you're just trying to ask for a simple banana bread recipe. It's a mess. And number 3, which is incredibly common, writing wishy-washy instructions. Look, telling an AI to be smart or write well does not actually change its behavior. You have to be concrete, specific, and actionable.
So, I'll leave you with this. If you only had to set your preferences once, how many hours would you honestly save this year? Seriously, think about the compounding value of never, ever having to type "be concise" or "no jargon" again. It is such a small upfront investment of your time, but it yields a massive, continuous return in both your productivity and the quality of your output. I highly encourage you to go open your settings right now, fill out those 2 magic boxes using the framework we just discussed, and instantly optimize your workflow. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy prompting.